Okay, Ben, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Brian.
Can you see me? Am I on?
I cannot see you, but I also don't have Discord up.
Oh, can you see me on
Went
Twitch?
full screen again. Not yet. No. Is it because I'm a viewer? Maybe.
Oh no, I should have switched over. It didn't switch over?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can see it now.
Oh, loving that mood lighting.
The streamer lights, the streamer effects. Okay, so that's good. I don't need that open. Let's click this. Okay. Okay, Ben, you there?
Yeah.
Okie doke. Perfect. You can hear me and you can see me, right?
Yep.
Is,
More or less.
is it easy to see on Twitch or should I share my page in Discord with you to make it easier?
I'll just watch the stream as you recommended, as you suggested. But I will say, it's a little behind for me. I'll make do.
Is it behind by a second? Oh, oh, it should pop. It should be pretty quick. I usually don't have a.
All I care about is the hearts. I'm here for those. That's all that matters to me.
You like that? I got you the nice little Valentine's Day overlay, the nice little red thing right
Ah, I
below it.
love it.
Oh, okay. So let's get started. You ready, Ben?
Okay.
Let's
I'm
get
ready. Let's jump on in.
So if you're new here, I'm Brian, aka Cool Dad Shorts. If you catch me on Twitch, you usually catch me losing at South Park Phone Destroyer. But you may not know that me and my wife run a publishing company for board games called Glass Shoe Games.
I'm not Brian's wife. I am not Brian's wife.
That is not that is that which way is it going? This way. There we go. That is not my wife. That is Ben Moy by his little name down there. And Ben Moy's the coolest. And Ben Moy, introduce yourself.
Okay, well, thanks, Brian. That was very flattering. I am not as lovely as Brian's wife, Kara, but yes, I am Ben Moy, and I design board games, as you might guess by the little Facebook link down below. So, Brian and I are here tonight to just mull over a few of his, like one of his designs, I think, and questions that we hopefully see in the chat there. And then I also have, yeah, at least one shout out to make for somebody. I promised them I would let loose this tip to the viewers. So that'll happen in due time when it's ready.
Is
But
it
Brian, let's get into it.
is it like a pro tip? Pro tip. Pro tip from Ben Moy. Yeah, pro tip from Ben Moy.
Bing!
Failbag. Failbag
Yeah.
Travis. Travis, how are we doing, Travis? How is it going? So Ben, what is Tabletop Simulator? For those who may not know what Tabletop
Oh
Simulator
my
is, let's just.
gosh.
I know they may.
I didn't know as the guest I was going to be doing all the work. Okay, so
Just a little
Tabletop
bit.
Simulator is an online kind of physics engine, like a
Physics.
virtual tabletop emulator. And so what we can do is not only play published games that have been uploaded as mods, basically just game files that are on the internet that you can subscribe to and play on your own. But for game designers specifically, like Brian and myself, we can upload and work virtually on prototypes and playtest them with other friends who maybe are not in the local areas. So had a little bit of a session, yeah, or two with Brian before. I've played, one of his games now on Tabletop Simulator, and he has one of mine. And we're just gonna, yeah, try to pound out, workshop a little bit about the newest, I suppose. Yeah, was that?
What? Ben, that was perfect. You are the best.
Oh, thank you.
Nobody's
You're
been.
perfect.
Nobody's
Let's
been.
see.
I'm not. It took me so long to get the sound in here.
That's different though.
Oh.
That's different. Besides that,
Oh, hi, Kara. I had everything ready to go, but it took me a few minutes to get the audio in here. Took me just a few seconds. So let us start. Do you want to start by just jumping into actually doing like an easy game? Because I have an easy game we can put in Tabletop Simulator.
Sure. Yeah, I'm all for it.
Because I have
I like easy too. I'm a pretty easygoing guy.
I have the ice cream game that I could put in here, and it's pretty easy because and it can show dice and the dice bags, and it doesn't require too
Yep.
much. Too much. We can do
Yeah.
that. Travis, today
It's
is my
not.
first
All
time
right.
trying to make something. I've got 90% of it done. It took me about 4 hours, which is the same amount of time it took in my graphics program. Not sure why I waited so long. It was pretty easy so far. Yeah, it's pretty. Once you get used to it, it's pretty easy. But a lot of what we're gonna try to show is how easy it is, because there's a lot of buttons, and you have no idea what those buttons do. I mean, I accidentally clicked a button, and I don't know what happened to my lighting, but everything turned like ivory. So there's a lot of buttons. So sometimes you don't know what you're doing until you click it. But once you get it learned, it's pretty easy. I
Yeah.
can now
It
get
sounds like
games.
Travis got it now. Yeah. Go ahead, Brian.
I can now get games in here pretty quickly. Pretty quickly.
Yeah. I uh, the one that I played of yours, Brian, was it last week or 2 weeks ago? I was very impressed. And Brian, he's not the most tech savvy guy. He'll tell you, or he won't. But he's hit or miss, as we know with the sound. But
100%.
besides that, yeah, it ran like a dream. So really cool stuff. And we'll get into some of the goodies. One of my favorite things, which is as Brian calls them magnet points, also known in the actual tabletop simulator community and the program itself, snap. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes,
Oh
yes.
me.
Here's my snap points. Oh, I can't exit this? Oh, no, I can't get to my home page. Oh, bye,
Oh
Tabletop
my.
Simulator. Oh, my goodness, I know. We're on my home page now. Um, man, I think I might need you to help me find this. So, TTS Deck Editor is embedded into Tabletop Simulator, into the files, and it's really simple for putting your cards into a deck, dragging everything over, and getting them in there. Finding TTS Deck Editor is not very easy. Thus, why I have it on my homepage because I can never find
Ah,
it. So I've put it
yeah,
on it.
yeah,
I've put
that's
it on
true.
my homepage, and I don't remember how to get to it. I'm hoping,
Okay,
Ben,
yeah.
you remember 100% how to find it because I do not remember.
Might be able to pull it up myself. So, from what I recall, the first thing that we'll want to do is open up our File Explorer. That's the word. So, from the File Explorer, we can go to our programs, time 86. And then from there, I'm pretty sure we're going to go into apps. So, yeah, first step is going to be to go to your computer, your C drive, and then we'll go into your program files, the times 86 parentheses. From
86.
there, oh, okay, we don't have to go to apps yet. We're going to go to Steam because Steam is one of the programs on our machine here. And then from
Where's my
Steam, we're going to go to Steam Apps. There it is.
Where's my Steam?
So from Program Files 86
Oh,
on
it's on a
the
different one. Hold
C drive.
on.
Oh,
Oopsies.
he's got it.
I
And
have Steam on a different drive.
to Steam, go to Steam Apps, everyone, if you care to follow along. From Steam Apps, we're going to go to Common. And from Common, we're going to go to Tabletop Simulator. From Tabletop Simulator, we're going to go to Modding, which should hopefully be the first folder. And then from Modding, we're going to go to Deck Builder, which is exactly what Brian was talking about. And there should be kind of 3 different files in there. There should maybe be an old Java version folder, a TTSDE icon, and then a TTS-deck-editor application. That's the one you're going to want to double click and open up. The first time that you do, there may be a little like ask about if you're willing to allow the modifications to the computer, and you'll just go ahead and say yes. And once you do, then you'll be greeted with a kind of gray window, that one that Brian has pulled up, on his main screen there. So Brian's just going to run through marathon sprint to the folders, and pop quiz. Let's see if he remembers it.
Yes. So if you have to make sure you go to the right drive. Some of us have fancy computers in like 4 different drives, so you got to remember where everything is. So
Hmm.
yeah, so you want to go to File Explorer, whatever your main drive is, which mine is the G drive, you want to go to Steam, and you want to scroll down to Steam Apps. You want to go to Common, and then Tabletop Simulator, Modding, Deck Builder. Now, if you're like me and you forget, trust me, you're going to forget. No matter what you tell yourself, like, I'm going to remember this, you're not. You're 100% not going to remember this. You're going to forget, and then you're going to get mad because you can't find it. So make sure you put that application onto your desktop. And now comes the easy part. So what we're going to do is, first, let us go find our files of what we're trying to put in. So I'm going to put in an ice cream game that we're working on, because it's pretty simple. It's just got cards, a dice bag, and dice. So it should be pretty fun to put in and pretty easy.
Yeah, and the best part is the easiest part is that so many of those objects that Brian just listed off are already in Tabletop Simulator. All you need to do is click through a couple menus to find them and drop them in. Yeah, it's that easy. It's that simple.
So the first thing you want to do is see how many cards that you have that you're putting in there. I just realized they're numbered. Whoops. Did not realize they were numbered. Oopsie daisy. So I have 60 cards. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to New Deck. So now this is going to be, you got to do a little bit of math. A little bit of math, sorry. So since I got 60 cards, we're going to do width of 10 and height of 6. So 6 times 10 is 60. Basic math here. And then now, it may not look like nothing's there, but trust me, something is there. I promise it's there. So now what you're going to want to do is get all of your files. Oh no, come back. You want to highlight all of your files. And you're going to drag those over to the top left, hopefully. Hopefully try to get in the top left, otherwise it may create a second deck, which isn't a big issue, but it'll be a little bit of annoying. So try to get in the top left. Did I do it? I did. Except I'm missing a card. Oh man. Have no fear, I'm missing card 49. So if you're doing this simply with just cards, make sure you drag the card onto the actual spot. Like drag it onto the number. If you don't drag it onto the number, it's gonna go weird. I don't know if go weird is a word or a sentence, but it's not gonna be good. So just try to drag it right on there. Boom. There we go. That was simple. So now we're gonna go to File, and we're gonna go to Export. So when you do this, I don't think you need to change anything. I don't think I've ever changed anything. Just make
sure, I haven't either.
As long as it says to Imgur.
Mm.
Hello, Eno. Wait, Eno. Oh, I can't read. Nlil90. Hello, Nlil90. How are we doing today? So as long as it says Imgur, we're good. You just hit Export. And make sure you save this in a location where you will not forget. And if you're like Kara, when she tries to use my computer, she's like, why do you have 4 different disk drives with different folders and everything going somewhere? And why is your computer like this? I don't like trying to find files on your computer. So yeah.
Totally get it. Yeah, she's right, Brian, and you are crazy for having many drives, basically.
Oh, Ben, when COVID's over and you come over and you can look at my computer and you just be like, why? Just why?
Maybe not. That'll be the reason that keeps me from coming over. Yeah, but real quick, so basically Brian has kind of created this image that has your grid of cards, and once we import it into Tabletop Simulator, you can dictate basically the dimensions or parameters, the same grid width and height, and it'll know to kind of cut up that image into your individual cards, which is super cool. So just wanted to fill in some blanks here, while we're going, but we are moving right along.
So once this is done, if you don't have any more decks to put into Tabletop Simulator, which I have other cards to put into Tabletop Simulator, so show you how to put cards in. Oh my gosh. I feel like... Okay. Once, I'm going to show you how to put cards singularly Singularly. Man, what is happening to me, Ben? I can't speak. Singularly. Okay, you guys know what the word.
Only
You know what the word I'm
8:30.
trying. You know what the word I'm trying to say is. I'm only drinking some bubbly. Oh my gosh. You know the word I'm trying to say. So once you have all your decks done, you're good. So once the decks are done, you're good. If you have like single cards you want to put in, that's fine. We'll show you how to do it. It does take a little bit more time, but if you only have a few, it's not that big of a deal.
And for some games, it's actually maybe better to start with an individual card, and we can spell a little bit of why that would be coming up here too.
So you're only doing the fronts at this time, yeah? Yep. You are only doing the fronts of the cards. When you insert the backs will be when we actually put it into Tabletop Simulator. Oh man, Ben. I should have showed everybody how to use this. We'll show people later. So here is your basic table that Tabletop Simulator gives you. And you can change the table to any of these cool fancy tables. Now, I forgot to show this part, but I will show this after we do this game. So there is a really cool thing you can get from Steam called the Flex Table, which I highly recommend downloading. If you're going to use Tabletop Simulator, get the Flex Table. I will find it in a little bit here, but it's from the Steam store. Basically, why I like the Flex Table is this little button down here. You can change the scale of the table, and you think, well, can I just make things fit? You can. But if you try to like maneuver stuff, get everything around, and then you have to like move stuff and make things smaller, bigger, it just gets annoying. So this cool little table scale, you can literally just change it to whatever you want. Whatever you want, and it changes it. So I highly recommend always using the Flex Table. It's or just no table. Ben doesn't use tables. He just straight plays on the floor.
A pro like that.
He prefers to play on the floor, but
Like to, be on the ground level with everybody. Yeah. I don't hold myself too high or anything.
I like to have my tables. So before I show the cards real quick, I'll just go over a quick thing of how to use Tabletop Simulator. Just a real quick. If you play computer games, you should know what the WASD is, which if you don't, it's the letters WASD. And that is how you move. That's how you move around. Now if you take your mouse here, if you right click, changes the perspective. So you can change any perspective you want by holding the right click down. If you got a cool little scrolly scroll on your mouse, you zoom in and out. And if you push down on the scrolly scroll, you can just move it around also, which is cool. But those are the basics to moving around. I personally, old school PC gamer, so I use WASD and right click all the time.
Crazy.
And I also prefer to design my games completely straight on. Oh, Ben, you like to do it the other way? You probably do.
I'm totally about the mouse. Yeah. I just
I love
go rampant. Yeah.
I love it.
Using it to zoom in and out and rotate.
I love it just straight on here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to go to Objects. And then we're going to click on Components. We're going to go to Cards and Custom Deck. Place your custom deck, right click it. So now, the first thing here, so if you have different type of cards like rectangle, hex, rounded, hex, circle, that's what you want to choose. We just have regular cards, so just regular rectangle there. And face here, then we're going to browse our files, which we got to remember where we saved our file. Alright.
Smart like me and Kara, you wouldn't have, 4 different drives to be sifting through.
I do.
Yeah.
I love sifting through drives. It's the favorite time waster of my day. So we want to go to our file that we saved. So I've saved my file deck here. And make sure you always select cloud. Do not select local. Always select cloud so that way when you want to play with other people, it's there. You want to have play testers, blind play testers, send it to publishers, whatever. Make sure it is in the cloud. And then upload. And it'll take a minute. Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot to process. Come on, Tabletop Simulator. 60 cards, we can do it. Oh, maybe Ben. Maybe. Ben, I like the Spider-Man.
So,
I like the Spider-Man in your background.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that.
And
Brian, did you also go over like the backs and the widths and the heights and the numbers or anything like that?
For actually like putting it in here? Like
Yeah.
Height, the width, height, and the number set?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Okay. Oh, I see. I'm just catching up on the stream myself, and so.
Oh, don't worry, you're still here. It's taking forever to load this file. It's not that big of a file. I thought it would be not that big of a file, but
it might be the live stream
there
too.
We go. Oh, now Ben, my computer's only running at 10%. Alrighty, now we're gonna go to this is the back. So if you don't have custom backs, like if each card, that's a whole nother story. If you want to have unique backs for each card, but if it has the same back, you're just gonna select the back section here, and I do. I just have a regular ice cream back. Select that, hit cloud, same thing, hit upload. We're good. Now Ben was so eagerly to get into this part,
yeah.
I'm gonna let Ben talk about it.
Oh, no, that's fine. Just even before that, the reason why I really like Tabletop Simulator is because most of the files that I'm creating are going to be digital anyway. And so, if you're preparing these files to print, you have all the images, prepared. And so kind of putting them to Tabletop Simulator is just an extra couple of clicks and steps. And then all of a sudden, bam, you can play it on the table right away. Not in person, but you don't have to spend extra hours time wasting, cutting them out with a paper cutter or anything like that, which is a really solid investment, I believe, because, again, you can just get to the playing of it, the testing right away. So to pick up on that, basically, as we recall from the grid that Brian created, the width and the height is going to correspond to the width and height that you have set in that original grid in the deck builder. So Brian's width is going to be 10, and his height is going to be 6. And there's just cool little sliders there to select whatever your quantities are.
It's also good to note you can't go above 70. You can't go above 70. So if you try to load like 150 cards, you gotta do it a few different times. I wanted to make sure to point that out. You cannot go above 70.
Yeah, that's right.
So now sideways is our deck going to be sideways? It is not. And back is hidden. Back is hidden gets me confused a few times, Ben. So do we need back is hidden?
No worries, Brian. Yeah, I would say that yes, you do want back is hidden selected. Basically, like at a poker table, when everyone is holding their cards in hand, the back will be facing out to the other players. And in Tabletop Simulator, they do so with something referred to as hand zones. So if you have the back is hidden checkbox selected, the image that you've selected or imported for your back file type is going to be what's shown or broadcast to the other players around the table. So I think that's really great for having a little bit of extra hidden information and just kind of makes things feel a little bit more professional in many ways.
Awesome. And that's it. So we just hit import.
Yeah, and there are some nice little tips too if you were to hover over any of those names with your mouse. Yep, next to the question marks, then a little pop-up will show to give you some extra hints too. But yeah, I'm ready to import.
Can you change that after you've already made the deck?
Oh yeah, you sure can, Brian, and possible viewer who's asking the question. Basically, with this deck on the table, you can right-click on it and click the custom toolbox icon, which I think is like the 5th option down in the
Yeah.
right-click menu when you right-click again on the deck itself, and then you can kind of come back to the same menu and change any values that you need to. Exactly.
Yeah, so just right click and custom. That's it. Right click custom, bring you back to that menu.
Love it.
So now, since this game does not have a whole lot, just has some cards and a few other things, and some dice, so let us get to the actual deck itself. So basically, this whole deck
Oh, that is the deck.
yeah, sits in the middle. So if you want to make it bigger, I should tell us part two. If you click a card, you'll take one. If you hold it, you'll take the whole deck. So that's a good thing to note here when you want to edit everything. So we want to make these cards bigger. So if you hit the plus sign, it gets bigger. The minus sign gets a little lower. So that's huge. Oh, we got dice. Yeah, that's fine. That's perfect size. Try to get in the middle there. Boom. So now we can take one card off. Good thing to note too is F flips the cards over. F will be your friend. So take a card, F flip. Take a card, F flip. Or we can flip the whole deck too if we want. Another fun thing to do is if you want to put out, so for this game, you put out a card plus one for each player. So let's say me and Ben are playing. If you just hit 3, it'll take 3. Goes right to your hand though, but oopsies. Oh, it goes right to your hand. Oh,
That's what people want anyway, I'm pretty sure.
oh
Yeah.
it is. And then we got our cards out. But I forgot a step. Oh boy. So I goofed a little step here. So let's highlight all of our cards.
Oh, what's that?
And if you highlight all the cards and hit G, they all go back together. If you goofed like I did, you want to hit the R button. There we go. I forgot about the shuffling. I forgot about the shuffles. So hit the R button.
You
shuffle.
fixed it, yeah. So.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is...
Yeah, R, I think, stands for randomize. So when you are wanting to shuffle a deck, or if you have a bag of components and you want to shuffle the inside of that, you can press R with your mouse over the bag. And then probably the most exciting part is when you want to roll dice, which is what we'll probably get to, pretty soon here, huh, Brian?
Oh, yeah. We are going to jump into a few next level things here. We're going to jump into the old snap points.
Oh yeah, my favorite.
So once you have your size down, like this is a good size. I might have to make the table bigger, but that's okay. So this is a good size. I like everything where it's at. So for the main deck here, you want to hit lock. Wait, no you don't. No, I need a capture point. I need a capture point for the main deck. That's right. Oopsies. I can't lock a deck I'm drawing from. Duh. Okay, so let's go back a second here. So if you go to the left side of your menu, go down to where this little green thing, it says point, click snap. And so what you want to do is kind of get directly into the center of where you want them placed. And then when we're done, go back to grab. So now, when we're playing, when we want to put the cards out, we just drag them over, automatically snaps into place. Don't have to do anything. This and that. So we also want to do a discard pile over here. So I'm going to go up to the top where it says draw, go to this cool little box. Just draw a nice little box just so we know. Go to text. Type in here. You can also do this in Photoshop, make a fancy thing if you want. Oh no, what happened to my text? Oh, is my text so little? Ah.
Well, you just got to scale it up there, Brian. No sweat, no sweat.
Oh my gosh, Ben, what is happening? How do I get this bigger?
All right, yeah. So while you have the text tool selected, go ahead and kind of hover over your words, and then you should see like 4 buttons appear above it. And so the left one is to shrink your text, the second one is to grow your text, the third one is to change the color of your text, and then the last one is a trash can, which is to delete the text. So hopefully that gives you...
Oh, I don't have anything over my text. Oh no, Ben, what did I do? The only thing on my text is just a trash can.
Oh my. Let's see. Oh, this is new. Maybe you can just hit plus. Yeah, this is a new update part that I actually hadn't seen myself. So everyone, this is really exciting to me too. We'll watch as Brian flounders about trying to figure it for us all.
I don't know how to fix it. Oh my gosh, what is happening?
I have no clue. Is it anything to do with a right click maybe? That you could like select the text box too? Yeah, that is very interesting.
Okay.
Oh, can't believe they took that away from us.
Okay, so we'll
to hit up the forums afterwards. Yeah,
we'll figure that
crazy.
We'll figure that out later. So basically, this is gonna be our discard pile. So we're gonna put a snap point over there. So discarded cards go over there. That was a bad snap. Should put it in the center. All right, so now we're gonna do. So now, if you want to get extra fancy, which I don't, because I have 60 cards, and it would take a very, very long time. But you can add snap points to the card themselves. What? It's fancy. It's very
so
fancy.
Good.
So let's take. Okay, that's doing a little much. Let's take this card over here. So when you play this game, you're rolling dice and you're putting dice on the actual card itself. So what you want to do is you want to hit L to lock the card. So anytime you have a locked image like this where you can't move it, if you put a snap point on it, the snap point stays on the image. So if you have a board, you want to make sure you lock it first, because if you don't, it's going to stay on the actual felt there and not the card. So make sure you lock it. So now, when I move this card, still locked. So now when I move this card, snap points are still on it. And they will stay on there forever. So what I would ideally do is, which this would take a while, so we're not going to do that on stream, but ideally is I would get every single card out, put a lock point on the cards themselves, so that way all the dice just go straight to there and they don't move. But we'll do it just...
Yeah, and I'll just take a quick moment, Brian. This is the instance in which you might actually want to import the cards one by one. And the reason why I say that is because if you were to create this card, this first card, and add the snap points in, you can right-click and like change the custom card to bring up a similar menu, but instead of a custom deck, it's a single card, and then just change the front image, and then just do that, however many times you need to, and then all of them will retain the snap points that you've added for the one time. So you don't have to click, let's say, 210 snap points. You actually only need to do 3, and then you just have to import, all rest of the cards that you have left. But 59 cards left. But that's maybe another approach. Just when you're thinking about how your game plays and the fastest way, the most efficient ways to bring it into Tabletop Simulator. Yeah, just kind of have that in the back of your mind maybe as you're sitting down, so then you can not have to double up or triple up on the work. Mm-hmm.
Spend 6 hours putting snap points.
Yeah, I've been there too many times, so want to share that where I can.
Snap points will save your life. I highly recommend snap points. Like, they seem intimidating at the beginning, but I promise you they're very easy to use. Once you get like the hang of how you want everything laid out, putting them on only takes a few minutes, and it's just so nice.
Yeah, it's super satisfying. And it's something that real life can't do. So it's kind of like one of the things that Tabletop Simulator does better. That and like we talked about shuffling. Like you don't have to spend 3 riffles. Now it's just 3 clicks of the R button and you're good to go.
Oh, it's so nice. I like to put, this is just my preference, I like to put little boxes around sometimes just so people know where the cards are. Give or take, I know it doesn't have the best appeal sometimes, but you know where the cards are, so you know where your snap points are. Like I said, it doesn't look the prettiest, but functionality, it works. Because then you know exactly where your snap point is, you can drop it in there, and you're good to go.
And kind of in a similar sense, like if you really wanted to go above and beyond, like extra homework, extra credit and stuff, you can create like a board image that maybe even has outlines for the cards, like a playmat would, laid out. And so instead of the flex table that Brian is highly encouraging, which I also do too, you can import a custom table and then bring in that image, and then just put your snap points where you need them, and then you're done. So that's kind of another, like, maybe to the wall approach. If you really, really wanted to put in the extra time and wow some people with your first, air quotes, Tabletop Simulator mod, TTS mod.
Yeah. So now we have the cards laid out. So the next thing that we use in this game is 6 different colored dice. 6 different colored dice. I know, it's a lot of dice. So the first thing we're going to do is go up to Objects. We're going to go to Components, and we need dice. We'll take plastic dice. We don't need metal dice. And there's our little dice. Oh boy, I zoomed in too far. Alright, so I need to make these dice a little bit, oopsies, I need to make them bigger. There we go. Want them big enough to fit. Yeah, that's perfect size. I like that size.
Yeah.
So I need 6 colored dice. So what I'm going to do is, and I got my dice for the size that I like. Just going to just right click it, hit copy, right click. What? Why is my paste like that?
Oh no, it must be the update again. Yeah, this is news to me. So for all the shortcut users, you could press Control-C while your mouse is over the die to copy it and Control-V to paste. I think that's still true.
Is this some weird update that I got? Because, like, why is this half, like, on there? Where did my text go? Oh my gosh. What is happening, Ben? Oh my goodness.
I wish I could tell you.
So I need 6 of each color. So now that I got 6 of them out there, I do need 6 white ones. But so now that I got my 6 dice out, I'm going to right click, copy that, paste 6 more over here, because I have 6 different colors. So we're just going to keep pasting. Doesn't matter where they're at on the board, just try not to get them close to the other ones. Well, that's kind of off the board. Come back. There we go. So I need 6 different colors. It's very easy. Same thing. Well, hopefully the update didn't change the colors. So I need black colors. So I'm going to highlight these 6. Right click, go to color tint. I can make it any color I want. So now these are black dye. Oh, they're black dye with black pips, Ben. What did we do? Uh-oh. We got to select the other dice for the black ones, don't we?
Well, that's another approach. Viewers, you learned it here first. Don't pick these dice for a black color, or else then you'll just have squares.
Oh, so we got to go back to our objects, components, no blocks, 1 dice. Now see these other dice here? They have white pips. So they're going to keep the white pips. There we go. Okay, get bigger.
Yeah, while you're doing that, Brian, I'm just going to go ahead and give a hint from a friend of ours, actually, a mutual friend. So this is a hint from Levi. He really likes the camera save feature in Tabletop Simulator. Again, we talked about at the beginning that I just use my mouse for everything, but sometimes, you don't want to use the mouse. And what you can actually do is once you sort of have the table set to the angle and everything that you like, you can press Control and 1 to kind of save a hotkey for that view, for that angle. And then if you ever want to
Wait, what
return
now?
to that view, you can shift one. Yeah.
Wait,
So it's
I
a
didn't know this
quick,
was
like
true.
a,
Okay, so say
yes.
I like this view right here. It's a good view.
All right. Yeah. So then you're going to hit Control plus one. So Control and the number one at the top of the keyboard, the same one that you would do to draw a single card from a deck.
Save
And
camera.
then change your angle a little bit with the arrow keys or your right mouse button.
There we
And
go.
then press Shift one. It should get you back to the saved camera. Is that about right?
Ooh, that was a fancy little trick, Ben. I didn't know that.
Yeah. You have Levi to thank. I still don't myself see the use in it. I prefer to just go manual with the mouse wheel, but for all of those folks who do prefer the keyboard shortcuts, that is definitely one way. Like if you have a independent player board or player area, and you also have a main board area that you always need to check back and forth between the two of, this could potentially, yeah, save you some time there by just having these kind of reference camera views or what have you saved up, and then just at the click of two keys, yeah, jump back and forth between them.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was cool. Just before this call, Brian was saying, "Oh, every time I learn something new." So I think that's the takeaway or the winner from tonight.
Is that that's my takeaway? Is that I don't know if it's 100% useful. Unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad
Sorry.
that we're in the same boat.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Levi.
sorry, Levi.
I don't know if it's 100% useful, but it's a good thing to know, just in case.
Oh yeah. Let's see. So my stream is a little bit slow, a little bit delayed here, but are all those dice now the right colors?
I hope so. Yellow,
Okay.
orange, blue, green, black, and white. Those are all my colors.
Awesome.
So now we need to. What do we need to do now, Ben?
That's a great question, Brian. This is your game, so I have no idea. But we did
Oh,
talk about, I think, a bag.
yeah, we need a
So
bag.
maybe we can show off one of those cool tools.
So this is, I guess, a dice bag builder. I don't know. I don't know what you call it. A dice bag builder? Is that what it is? Because you're getting dice, sort of, and rolling them. So yeah. So we need a bag. Let us go to components again. And it is going to be. Oh, where is it? Oh no, Ben, I forgot where it was. Is it miscellaneous? Oh boy.
Seems right.
No, it's not miscellaneous. Where is it? Not in figures.
Maybe the thumbnail will show you. Yeah, there's like the blue bag, the infinite bag in the thumbnail. So,
Piece pack. Saved objects. No.
oh yeah,
Where's the bag?
still objects and components.
There we
Objects, components. Is there like the bottom one? Yeah, I think.
go. So if you don't know where it is, which I still. There it is. It's in tools. Tools. If you don't know where it is, you can just type in search.
Tools, good.
So like I need a bag.
Oh yeah.
So you can just type it in there too. Ooh, so infinite bag or bag. Now the difference between both of these is infinite bag we do not want. Because an infinite bag is infinite. Whatever's in there, there's like 1,000 pieces. You can just put one piece in there. It's just going to keep giving you that same piece. But we do not want that. So we just want the regular bag. Regular old bag. Components miscellaneous. Thank you, Travis. It's been a long time since I put a bag in here. Like I just cannot figure out where this bag goes. All right. So now
Oh yeah, I like that barrel though. That's a new one.
barrel. So now we want to make the bag just a little bit bigger. Just a little bit bigger. And I don't really like how brown is the main color. That's kind of an
Yeah,
like who wants a brown bag? Oh,
Uh,
this is me. We want pink. There we
a
go.
canvas sack or something. But you
We
can
want-
also, yep, change the color of it too.
We want a pink bag. I just needed to make a bag, so I was right in there. Yeah, I can't. I was like, where is this bag? Like, I know I've used it before. But you'll surprisingly use bags a lot depending on your games. So now what I want to do is put all of these dice into the bag. So we're just going to highlight the dice, place them over the bag. Oops, get in there.
Yeah, so we've seen Brian do this multiple times where you just kind of click through all the different components that TTS has to offer, and then you just drag them onto the table. It's that easy. It makes things so much faster, I think, than having to maybe dig through your barrel of dice or your packing container of them. Yeah, the storage bin. That's the word I'm looking for. Or having to spend a little bit of extra money buying dice from Amazon. Like obviously, Tabletop Simulator does have a little bit of a subscription, not fee, but just a one-time purchase price of $20. It is very much on sale a lot of times, and if you catch this, I think before the end of this weekend, you can actually get it for probably half price or so. So they run pretty regular
What?
deals, which is really great.
It's still on
And
sale?
here you are, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's an invaluable resource, truly.
So what you want to do once you get in your place again, you want to lock it because I don't want this bag going away. So now, so to play this game, you're gonna draw one dice per player plus. Oops, no, three dice plus one per player. So let's say me and Ben are playing. So I need four dice. So you have four on the bag. That's it. So here's my four dice.
3 dice plus one per player, Brian. That would be 5 dice.
Three dice plus one per player, not including yourself.
Oh, not including
So
yourself.
yourself is three, and the other
Gotcha.
player
All right.
is one. So we want.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we
All
need
right.
four
Good.
dice. So all this does is, like I said, you hit the number you want, pull it out, boom, got your dice. So now we want to roll our dice. There's plenty of ways to roll a dice. The cool thing with this is you can actually roll the dice if you want. Like you can shake your mouse, it rolls it. You can kind of drop it up high and roll it. But if you want to roll it the other way, just hit. Wait, what button do you hit? I always roll it this way. What's the roll button? I always go like this.
Uh, Same as shuffle. It's gonna be R, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. R. Yeah. So if you, it's funny. Like I always roll my dice like this. Like I do not know the key for that. I just think it's funner to go like this and like throw your dice.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do
Just
that,
kind of go all over the place. Yep, it's true.
if you don't want to do that, just highlight your dice, hit R, got your dice rolled. So real quick, in this game, I'm not going to get too much into it, but basically you're taking cards. So I want this card. I need a blue something, so blue 5, so I can put this on here. Now since I got my snap points, snaps right in play.
Mm,
This
yes.
one I can have 1, 2, 3 of any color, so I can put that there. Let's take this. That goes there. Gravy. And this one goes to Ben. I just throw it at him, and then he uses it. So that is how you use dice. And then if you're done with them, they just go right back into the bag. Now the cool thing is, like I was saying, if you lock the snap points onto the card, it stays on there. It's very, very helpful. So your stuff doesn't fall. Oh gosh, don't do what I just did. But yeah, it'll stay. Don't touch the mouse, basically. Okay, here we go. Don't go crazy, sorry. So if you go nice and slowly, not like a crazy person grabbing everything. Oh, I did it again. Don't do what I'm doing. So if you just hold it, it stays on there. It's not going to go anywhere. Or is that the one without the... Yeah, it's got the snap points. I was just being a goof. So now, if you want to do
Thanks.
it the other way, where you just insert cards singularly, it's also very easy. If you only have a couple cards, it's probably easier to do it this way. But basically, you just go into your objects, components, cards, custom card. Drop your card. So let's say I'm putting out 2 cards. One reference card for Ben, one reference card for me. So I got 2 out there. So right click the first one. Hit your face. My player aid. Make sure you always hit cloud. About to do the back. Doesn't matter. So I'm just going to make it the player aid again. import. Now the cool thing is if you have like 6 cards to import. Hello, Deli Bean. How are we doing? Are you done streaming now? Done streaming Beat Saber? We're doing fun stuff. Fun stuff out of my normal streaming life, my board game life. So if you have like 6 cards out, it automatically goes to the next one. Oh, you're streaming South Park tonight. I missed it because I was working and then I was getting ready for this stream and trying to get my audio set up, which took me longer than I thought. So if you have like 6 cards, it automatically goes to the next card, which is pretty sweet. Now I could have just done this the other way and just copied the player aid, but I didn't. I did not. So we're just creating 2 player aids. Import, boom, that's it. So now our cards are in there. Let's make them a little bit bigger. And that's how you put custom cards in there.
Beautiful.
So Ben here have a how to play card. And I'll take a how to play card. So the next, as Ben was talking about having a we're gonna get into some fun stuff here, Ben. We're gonna get into the fun stuff. This is Tabletop Simulator. It is Ben gave such a great description earlier. Basically you can play any sort of game, any sort of board game, card game you want in the world digitally. But the cool thing is you can design your own games in there. So for a lot of us, like designers and publishers, whenever we're trying to playtest games, the best way is to put it in here so I can playtest with people all over the world. So, you know, every now and then, my good friend, there, he's there somewhere. My good friend Ben Moy next to me, who's not in Ohio. Whenever we want to play a game, we can put our game in here, play test it whenever, and we're good to go.
And it also goes for people even outside the U.S. So not to humble brag, but I played with people from Australia, New Zealand, Philippines, the UK. I don't know Germany yet, but I think
you're just bragging.
Sweden and Croatia.
Ben's cool.
Those are some
cool.
top picks for sure.
Ben has friends in Croatia and Canada and everywhere. He's got way more cooler friends than me. He's got
TTS is pretty great.
He's got more friends than me. That's what he's just trying to say. He's trying to say he's got way more friends than me. We have Tabletop Simulator for Warhammer. What? Yeah.
Nice.
So if you have TTS for Warhammer, then it's the same thing.
And that's a really great point too. Yeah, a lot of people will play like Dungeons and Dragons or other role-playing games in TTS as well. I think you just pulled up a little window and they have like an RPG section, so they have little miniatures that actually are animated, which is pretty bonkers. TTS has them included, so if you want to like play around with those, you totally could on your own time. Viewers, yeah, it's really, really neat. And you can also import custom like 3D objects as well. So if you like are a miniature sculpture or maybe downloaded one from Thingiverse and converted it into an OBJ file, which is I think the native type that TTS accepts, you have a couple cool custom pieces inside your game. So it's really robust. It's really, really neat, and I have a good time trying to make like my own little custom board game meeples as well. Oh, love it.
This is now my new first player marker. That's my first player
exactly.
Marker. COVID times. Yeah, so up until COVID, I mean, people used Tabletop Simulator test games online, but it was not at all that popular compared to what it is now. Like before, I had weekly groups of playtesting, with anywhere from 10 to 20 people. And that's how most people met. Like pretty much most game designers would have weekly playtests with other designers to work on games, send games out, conventions, travel. Like a lot of people would have, weekend events where everybody gets together in a weekend in a cabin, hangs out and stuffs. But COVID has taken away all of that. So Tabletop Simulator, I
So
think,
we
had
have
like a
this.
100,000,000,000% increase since COVID.
It is statistically proven. Yeah, yeah. Brian did his research on that one.
I always do my research, Ben. I don't just make stuff up. So we are going to insert a player
Never.
board, and we are going to get some fine tricks because this is going to be a tricky one.
All right. Okay.
We're gonna need. We're gonna need. There we go. So I need to rotate my card. We're gonna get some fanciness here.
I'm scared.
I know this is. I think I made my thing too big. Uh-oh, I gotta make my table bigger. I gotta make my table bigger. I made stuff too big. See, this is why when I said at the beginning, always use this table, because if you're like me, you just make stuff bigger. Normally, you would just have to resize everything, and it's annoying. So I'm just gonna make the table bigger because you can always fix it. So that's just so much like, oh my gosh, that should literally be the first
Quality
thing.
of life.
This should be the first thing you do when you start designing games. Is to download that.
The first thing you should do in real life is resize your table, and then that way you can build anything on there.
Yes.
I think, yeah, it's a great lesson for me from tonight.
So we are going to do a Ben likes fancy little player aid. So this is our player aid here, and we are going to make sure the size. I had to make this a little bigger. We are going to get a little fancy technical now, because some of this stuff is a little confusing in the beginning. So first of all, we need to lock our board. So when we have a card here, I need it to go right there. Ben, that's going to be hard to put a lock point on, isn't it? Isn't it?
Oh boy. Maybe.
We're going to have to use multiple.
You tell me. You show me.
We're going to have to use multiple snap points. So what I'm going to do is actually put one on the bottom of the card here, and then up top. So it should snap right in place. Wait, is it? Is it snapping in place? No. Why isn't it snapping?
Have you locked the player aid, Brian?
I did. The player aid's locked.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe then you have to actually put the snap point on the table, because it's not gonna. The majority of the card is off of the player aid, is my best guess. So, live problem solving, troubleshooting, just for you viewers of Cool Dad Shorts. Thank you for tuning in tonight.
Right. Well, I just seen you're streaming. Want to say hello and thank you for hosting me last night. I've been neglecting housework because of Beat Saber. Oh, it's okay. Beat Saber is life. Beat Saber and streaming is life. But thank you for stopping by. And it's awesome that you use Tabletop Simulator also. Such a small world. Such a small world this is.
Yeah, hit Brian up for some games any time. I fully condone it and advertise this.
I'm okay, Ben. I'm okay, Ben. Don't be trying to tell people I'm good or something. I'm just hanging out. So we need to get our snap points. Oh no, Ben, why is it going in the center? Ah.
So maybe that one needs to be locked as well. Yeah, because that's a great point. Is that if you haven't locked your component, the snap point will center on the middle, basically, of the X and Y, the width and the height of your components. So if Brian wanted to, when he's making those snap points for his cards and the dice, he can actually stack the dice where he wants them first, lock the card into place, and then add snap points by just like selecting the dice that are on the cards, instead of maybe just having to do them by eye. Without the dice on there. So just another kind of, approach. There's no wrong way, but maybe one you prefer over the other, or maybe one just kind of streamlines your process. So take it or leave it. Yeah, but there we are. Mm-hmm.
Good. All right, so to make things simple, so we don't want to goof up our lock points on the card, we're just going to place our card over it. We're just going to use only just one snap point for these. I know, not as exciting. But we got rotating snap points.
You win some, you lose.
We got rotating snap points coming up.
Yes.
So now we only need one, so we just throw it in there. Drop it in there. Drops right in your slot. All right, Ben. This is where I need help. I get confused
Whew.
on the rotating. The
Oh
rotating
boy.
ones are a little confusing. So
A
now,
little bit, but they're also really useful. And thankfully, they're not too different from kind of the standard snap points. So for all of those who are tuning in, kind of rotate snap points dictate which orientation or rotation of your components or of the components when they land on those snap points. So, for instance, kind of whatever way your card is currently facing is going to be the up direction. So, when you add a rotate snap point, you'll see that there are two arrows, a blue and a red, that will help like change the degree value of the upward position or like the face up kind of orientation. So again, by default, whatever rotation your card is, when you add the rotate snap point is going to be like the standard, and then you can click those arrows to just kind of tick or ratchet, the rotation or the degree that you want them to appear. So if for some reason maybe the bottom of the card of this raccoon instead of the side is like something that you needed to keep track of, you like tucked it underneath your player aid or something like that, you can change the rotation of the snap point so that when you put the card into place, it'll always be in the correct orientation. Pretty neat stuff.
all right. So as Ben was talking here, I was kind of setting it up. So instead of your normal snap point, here,
Mm-hmm.
go to rotate snap. So let me zoom. I hope everybody can see this. So when you see here, if you see how the arrow is pointing towards the right, so however you lay this card on there, that's going to be the up direction. So let's take our card here. So our card is just like this. Set it over here. Boom. Snaps it right to the side.
Love it.
So if we go back to rotate snap, so now when we click this, let's say we need it to go the other way. See how the arrow is going towards the left now. So now when we drop it, it flips it.
Mm-hmm.
It flips it. Have you ever seen something so cool, Ben? That's pretty cool. So no matter
That's pretty much the coolest thing I've seen. Yeah,
so no
you got
matter
it,
how
Brian.
this card is, when you set it there, boom, rotates it, snaps it right into place.
And so this is maybe even useful too for all of those dice snap points on these cards. When you roll the dice, they might kind of come out in a different angle, like 45 degrees or 60 degrees. But if you have a snap point, a rotate snap, excuse me, that's set at the perfect kind of 0 or 90, whatever you want to count it as, it'll spin the dice for you and then drop them onto the snap point. So that can be great for just like, minor bookkeeping sorts of things. In person, you might be tempted to rotate them, like tweak the angles on your own. But for TTS, yeah, the rotate snaps do that for you.
Yeah, that's the fancy next level stuff there. That's what
It is.
that's what Ben's here for.
It's true.
Oh dear, I don't want that. Okay. Yeah, so now where's my dice? I need a dice. Did I lose my
In the
dice?
bag, in the bag.
Oh boy. Alright, let's take out 4 dice. There we go.
So yeah, I think that's pretty cool too. While you're
So
kind
now,
of cleaning up shop here,
so now
is
if our
that
dice
you
is,
can bring in.
as Ben was saying, so now our dice is kind of sideways. You try to place it on here, it's not going to work. Boom. Boom. So if your dice are sideways like that,
Going to be made to work.
yeah. So rotating snap points are awesome and very fancy. You can stack that way too, by the way, just in case anybody wondered. You can also stack. Oh, we got a question. How does one create a player tableau much like the ice cream truck?
Ooh,
That's a good question. Let me throw my dice back in there. Are you referring to like the actual graphic design of the ice cream truck or the snap points for the ice cream truck? Like how we have it set up for this. Oh, did I lose my side? Where'd my one go? Oh, I deleted it. Oh, I need that back. I just realized that you don't actually put the card sideways over here.
Yeah.
But you don't actually do that. But it just shows how. It doesn't matter. It just shows how you do it.
Yeah.
No, I'm trying to test
Well,
the
let's
game
see.
of
To answer
mine
Silver's
and having problems finding the
question,
custom item. Um, can you can see the question, can't you, Ben?
almost, yeah, it'll just be like another second or two for me.
Oh, it's not there yet.
But a cool thing that you can do, and I think you just did it, Brian, with the dice, is that like you can create perfect rows of components if you have multiple of them selected. So I don't know if that's the exact question for this tableau that's being asked here, but like if you were to select your chameleon card and those two raccoon cards, um, by clicking and dragging the selection box around them, picking them all up by pressing and holding the left mouse button, and while they're in the air, pressing like the number 1 on the top of your keyboard, it's going to line them up perfectly. So then, like, you could bring them over to your player area that you want to form the tableau, drop them, and then again add those beautiful, beautiful snap points, possibly rotate snaps, and then that way, you know, when you add a card into that area, it'll always be perfect. Oh, I just missed the question. It appeared, and then I was talking and got carried away. But what was that second or follow-up question?
It says, no, I'm trying to test a game of mine and I'm having problems finding the custom item to apply the image to.
Oh, okay, sure. So for me, my favorite ways to make like tableaus is not the way that Brian showed. Actually, you can use player cards, absolutely, but what I like to do is actually use custom tokens, which are slightly different because the custom token doesn't really matter what the shape of your card is going to be, and it adds a thickness to it as well. So that's like my go-to for a tile. I know that there is a TTS tile object as well, but tokens are easier for me because what ends up happening is that it extrudes, it like makes thicker whatever the image that you've selected is. So let's say, for instance, Brian has that chameleon card there, and he turns that into a token. When you pick up and flip over the token, it's going to be the reverse of the chameleon face, basically, because that picture goes all the way through. TTS creates what's referred to as a mesh, which is like a three-dimensional kind of object, but it's cool because it retains all those colors through that object. So this is perfect for tiles that, when double-sided, do not have two different sides. Otherwise, you'll need to go to use the TTS tile itself, but for me, the simplest way to get a little bit of thickness in TTS is going to be through that token object. And hopefully, yeah, that would help for you. The best thing about tokens as well is that if you click a PNG image for them, the mesh will basically just extrude or make thicker the part of the object that's not transparent. The background will not appear. And so you can get some really cool, again, custom meeples, which is what I was referring to earlier. If you have like a custom shape or something that you've created in an imaging program like Photoshop or GIMP, Illustrator, or Affinity Designer, Inkscape, etc., etc. So those are just some quick tips for me personally that are some of my favorites. I have like a cool monster game that Brian's played, and I made kind of like a Godzilla meeple, which is like a player piece kind of thing, which is really fun. And then all the tiles in that game are actually tokens as well. So that's just a little bit of fire I'm spitting out for you. But hopefully that answers your question there, Silver. Unfortunately, I couldn't read the first half of your name there, but that's my personal approach when it comes to tableaus for players and stuff like that. So sorry to over there, Brian, but hopefully that was useful to you as well, maybe for an upcoming design.
It was. I was trying to fix my headset was dying. I had to charge it real quick.
Oh.
I'm good. I am good. So I'll just leave it open for a few minutes here. If anybody has any quick, basic questions about anything we just did, please let me know.
Yeah. I'll just go ahead and fill out the space because I like to hear myself talk. Is that another way that you can roll dice is with the flick tool. And so basically, yeah, you might select all of your dice objects, and then on the left side tool panel, underneath the measure tool, which is that ruler-looking thing, is going to be the flick action or function. So the cool part about flick is that when you click an area on the table and then pull back, that's going to determine how far or how much force, I guess, you're going to flick an object with. So it's kind of maybe not the greatest habit, but like at the end of a long night of playtests, some friends and I will just kind of flick the pieces around the table, which is pretty enjoyable seeing, again, because Tabletop Simulator is like at its core a physics engine or like a physics simulator. So that can get really fun. And it works well, yeah, for dice, or if you have like what's referred to as a dexterity game, board game, for TTS, you can also use the flick to do that also. So just some mindless fun that way. But yeah, some really neat functions to click around and play in. Absolutely.
I need to just start flicking dice around.
Yeah. And like I think that's pretty cool. So that's what we need in is a dice flicking game. Do any of those exist? I know that disc flickers are a thing.
Yeah, there's dice ones. I've played some before.
Okay. All right, I believe you.
I was working on one once. I couldn't figure it out though, but it was weird. Oh yeah.
Well, if you ever want to come back to it, TTS. Ben, you can flick pretty much anything.
We got some questions now, Ben.
Okay. What we got?
Viejo 524, unique backs. Do you need to do anything special with those, or just make another deck with a custom deck program?
You got this one, Brian? Do you know how custom backs work?
I do. You can do the... Man, you gotta line it up the same way, don't you? You gotta line it up the same way.
That's exactly right. Yep. So when you're making the grid and you're doing the export in that deck builder, like Brian was saying, yeah, it's going to be the exact. You just want to line up your backs to be the same. Go for it, Brian. Maybe you can even show Viejo.
So if you have, So if you have, give me a second. I got to back out of here. So basically, if you have 1 through 5, let's just say you have 5 cards. If you want the back to be 1, you just make sure when you create 2 decks that the 1 is on the back. Does that make sense? So your 1 front should be your 1 back. So you're just creating 2 decks is all. The same thing as creating a deck. Just make sure you have the numbers lined up when you're putting it in there. Is all.
Yeah. So like an example of that would be I was helping a friend with a game about pirates, and so it had like 5 or 6 different pirates on the front with their characters and faces, and then on the backs they're all the same flag. So basically for the custom deck, that's right, they just kind of for the first row of 6 pirates, it was just the same back, and then on the face image it was going to be the different colors, and then on the back it was the different colors. So it's just sort of a mirror, pretty much. Not even a mirror, because it's not a reflection. It's going to be 1-to-1, 2-to-2, just as Brian described. Yep.
Travis, how do you set up players around the table? Perfect question. So this is actually something I just learned recently. So Ben was awesome enough to help me out with this.
Hi, Ben Moy.
Hi, Kara Shoemaker.
Do you like Ben's Valentine's Day?
Oh my gosh, Ben, you look so cute in your Valentine's Day. What?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you know who did that was your Valentine, Brian. He did it all for me.
Ben's not my Valentine, but sorry.
Ben can be your Valentine. Do you see how cute he is?
He can.
Her wants to be in the chat too.
Gosh. I don't need her in the video. She gets in all my streams. I do not need her in all my streams.
She said yes.
You got her now.
Oh, Kara.
All right, I'm gonna go keep working on my school stuff.
Okay, Kara, go back to your school.
Okay.
Travis, how do you set up players around the table? So I booted up my Kara Superhero Seamstress game, so it should be a little easier to show players because you can kind of see. It's a lot easier to see a completed version of a game to answer that question. So one of the things that I did not know before this is how to adjust your player hand size. So I know this is probably going to help too. So let's say I have these 5 cards and I put them into my hand. Now you see that little box. If you go to Gizmo here and move, this shows all of, I hope this helps. This shows all of the hand sizes. So this shows how big they can have their hand size, and it'll actually show the cards. If you make them smaller, Like, let's make this super small. So if you make this super small,
Oof.
it's not going to look good. Looks terrible. When you put them on there, you can't see your cards. Oh, Ben, we can't see our cards. What's happening? Oh, no, I don't know what's going on.
Can't play.
Can't even play. So again, go to your gizmo tool and go to move. And make sure you click this little box, because sometimes you can click the table and it just gets weird. So make sure you click the little box here. And where it says scale, X is going to be your x-axis, which is your left and right, which is, I'm put at 100, and your Y is your top, so you don't want to make it too huge. When you do 100 there, it makes that bigger. So that increases, so now we, oh dear, I'm throwing cards everywhere. Oh gosh, Ben. Okay, so let's say I'm drawing all these cards. Once I bring it back, once it hits a little box here, puts it into my hand, and boom. Oh gosh, I grab, oh dear. So just pay no attention to that, because I just accidentally grabbed like 4 stacks. I grabbed like 5 stacks of cards. Oopsies. But I hope
Poor viewers.
I hope that did that kind of answer your question, Travis, about how to set up the player size around the table? I think that is probably what you were referring to when you set up the player size for around the table.
Maybe.
If that wasn't, though, let me know and I'll answer it another question. But are you referring to like the like actually setting up the sides? Because that's what you're referring to. We need to actually host a game. Let us go host a game. Loading complete menu. Oh gosh. You need to go back to the main menu. When you create a game, you want to click multiplayer. And in here, so Ben loves hot tacos when he's in Georgia, so that's the name of our thing here. Hot tacos in Georgia. Friends only. Public. Password. Doesn't matter. So this game has a max of 4 players. So we have 4 players. Create server.
So really quick, I'll add that 4 players also includes you as the host. So if you're looking for 4 players at the table plus yourself, you'll want to change that to 5 at least. Mm-hmm.
So now we go to our little handy dandy thing up here. So we can change our color. Oh gosh, oh dear. Yeah, so when you click change color, that also chooses where you want to sit. So when you hit change color, then that sets up your entire board. So it knows that there's a green, red, white. So whenever players come into your actual game there, they can choose their color, rotates them there, and boom, they're on that side. You can do teams also.
So yeah, here's a pop quiz for you, Brian. Is that if you wanted to add an extra seat at the table, do you know how to do that?
Change color. Oh no, I do not. I know how to. So another fun fact before I answer Ben's question. So let's say, Travis, you have 4 people playing your game, and you are not the person playing the game. You can click this little gray spectator button. So you can look at the game, but you are not playing the game. Just don't select a color. Just don't select a color. So now Ben is going to tell me how to change it in game.
Oh, sure. So real quick too, yeah, you can see that there are those 2 kind of pulsing orbs. So the dark black is referred to as the game master, which if you are kind of the host, you'll generally sit at. And the cool thing about it is that it'll show all of the face cards or all the faces of the cards that are hidden in players' hands to you on your screen, so that maybe you can instruct them on like the best plays to make for their first time, sitting down at the table. Whereas, the gray, as Brian had explained, is the spectator, and that will not allow you to interact with any of the components on the table. It'll actually, I think, pop up with a warning saying like, oh, you can't interact with the game or something like that. But anyhow, if you had a 4 seat table, but you actually wanted 6 hands to be present, I believe you can go on the left toolbar, the third option down, which is zone. You're going to want to click hand. Now, unfortunately for me, my viewing is a little bit delayed on Brian's, or like what Brian is doing. So, Brian, from here, you can just kind of explore as I maybe make up my way through the rest of this process, because TTS actually did change it recently with the update. But
What? I just got
from
raided.
here, I believe.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
I got a raid
hopefully.
I got a raid from the Candid Clarinet. Clarinet. Oh my goodness. I don't know how to say words. The Candid Clarinetist.
Oh, well, thank you very much,
What?
Candid.
Thank you guys for the raid. That is, oh my gosh. That is amazing.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
and some
all the
TTS.
follows. What? Thank you guys.
Plus, we have some fans. Yeah,
Thank
some
you
fans of
guys. Thank you guys so
virtual
much for
tabletop.
stopping by and raiding. Did you raid from the board game? I'm guessing you were streaming a board game.
Hey,
That's gonna
look at
be
all these.
that's gonna be my
folks.
guess, is you raided from the board game.
Do love Doritos. I think they're here
No.
because they knew what we needed.
Doritos. Oh my goodness, Ben. Are you looking at images on there?
Yeah. Let's see, but yeah, you have your hand size, and I think you
They
can
were playing.
draw.
Oh, they were playing X. They were playing X-wing on TTS.
Nice.
So basically, hello. Thank you so much for the raid. My name's Brian, aka Cool Dad Shorts. I mainly stream video games, but my wife and I are also board game publishers and designers. And one of the big things with designers and publishing is Tabletop Simulator. It is very hard to use and very confusing at times. So me and my good friend Ben here, are doing instructional, tutorial, quick guide, whatever you want to call it, answering questions about Tabletop Simulator for people. Basically showing people how to use it, and I'll let Ben introduce himself to everybody.
Oh yeah, no sweat. Designer, check out Breakdancing Meeples, available for sale. That's my big claim to fame as of right now, until Brian signs one of my things. But yeah, we're having a good time just going through a little bit here. So creating some hand sizes, showing off, yeah, one of Brian's and Kara's in-work productions. Pretty sweet.
If you want to check out Ben there, !Ben leads you to his Facebook. If you're interested in checking me and my wife out, we're at Glass Shoe Games.
Thanks, Candid Clarinetist.
Thank you so much for the stream, though. I'm bringing everybody in here. Now I gotta look for... Oh boy, I had a question. Now I gotta find it. Travis said, neat. I was looking at setting up places at the table when players start a new game. I think I can do that by moving hand spaces around. Yes,
I think so.
That's what we were moving hand spaces around, weren't we? You can move these around, Ben?
And so,
Change the
yeah.
color. Layout, hands.
Yeah, with the move tool. Yep. You can use the same little coordinates to factor in where you want them to go. Yeah, the types of games that we design, Candid Clarinetist, is usually lighter stuff. In fact, Kara and Brian recently had a cool, what's referred to as a roll and write game, and theirs used like markers, and you're like bouncing lasers off of mirrors in a museum. Pretty epic stuff. So yeah, you can still visit that just by searching it in Kickstarter, and then I think it's maybe available as print and play, so you can like go to their website and possibly download this stuff. So yeah, keep pitching, Brian. Yeah, always be closing, but yeah, we're having fun with TTS too.
You guys ever go to Gen Con? I live in Indy. We do. I am in Ohio, so when conventions are normally available, I go to Gen Con every year, Origins every year, and usually Ben does also, because Ben is close to the Chicago area, so Gen Con's not too far away from him.
I think you're right in the middle of us, clarinetist. We could make a clarinetist sandwich. Yeah, you, me, and Brian all together.
Clarinetist sandwich. Oh, Ben. Oh, Ben. Okay, we got. Sounds good. Yeah, we'll definitely. I'm definitely at pretty much all of the usually like the 5 or 6 major conventions in the U.S. PAX Unplugged, Origins, Gen Con, some of the Geek Way to the West, but COVID kind of canceled all that. So
Yeah, whenever it's safe again. I mean, if you're an indie clarinetist, it'd be super cool if we could all, yeah, like meet up and you'd be like, hey, I'm that anonymous person who rated your live stream that one time. And we'll be like, holy crap, this is awesome. And I used to play clarinet. Candidly, I do not anymore. But that is that. So, yeah.
we are going to try to answer that question again, Ben.
Okay.
Okay, so now
You are.
Oh boy, me? Oh dear, I don't even know the answer. Okay, so if we want to change this from 4 player to 5 players, Ben. Oh boy, how do we do that again? So we go to the zone, right?
Think so. Yeah, that sounds right to me.
Zone and then hands.
Hmm.
All right, so now I got 4 colors. It just shows all the zones.
Okay. Are you able to draw a new zone?
I am.
Yes.
Oh boy, I drew a new zone. So then that should be the new hand size, right?
Yeah, I believe you're able to change the color so that that can now become a new seat at the table. You know, what wasn't
Yellow.
pink, blue, white, or red.
So let's see if that worked. Yeah, we go.
Nice.
Hopefully, Travis.
Swing every Wednesday and Sunday. Epic.
Hopefully, Travis, you are still there. So if you go to zone and then hands, you can draw a new spot. So if you need to create a new spot, you can just do that, and then it adds a whole new spot. And if you just click the little thing here, you can change the color. So then when you want to go back to this, change color, boom. Oh, I have the same color. But you get what I mean. But that should do...
Hmm.
But that should be that if you want to add somebody once you've already got it set up. I'll be at Gen Con for sure. Let me know. I stream X-Wing every Wednesday and Sunday night. Saturday, in the case of this week, I used to play... oh man, I used to play so much X-Wing back in the day. After I quit my main job and just kind of lived life on the edge, I played X-Wing we played like 2 or 3 times a week for like a couple of years straight. So I love X-Wing. It got to a point though where I just couldn't do it anymore. It's just too much. It's just too much. All right, Ben, you want to try to get into?
It is cool though, yeah.
You want to try to get into the finer points of this? Because you said you knew how to take...
Oh my gosh.
You said you knew how to take a card, a 9-sheet card, and not use the TTS editor, and put it in here. So I have...
Oh.
Yeah. So I have...
Well...
Do you think you figured that out?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same process, except, you know, at the very beginning when we showed how to create that 10x6, you don't have to do that anymore because you basically created the 10x6, or in your example, a 3x3 in the image, you know, creation software. So like, that would be if you didn't have individual cards. Yeah, you could just kind of do it. No biggie.
Because Nate said he can do it, and I don't know how to do this. Okay, so left monitor. Where did you go? There we go. Can you see it, Ben?
Not yet. Not
did it boot up
yet, but I will let you know.
So I have
when I do.
I have a PDF with 9 cards on it. Does it need to be PDF or JPEG? Or PNG?
That's a good question. Yeah, so I would just go over to your objects, components, custom deck, and see if it also will accept PDFs. To my knowledge, I've always only used, or to my knowledge, I think it's only JPEG and PNG. I've only ever used JPEG myself, but I recently found out that PNG is better. It's a non-lossy file type. But yeah, that would be something for you to just kind of switch over to TTS real quick and check verify for us, I suppose.
So you think it's P?
Put the ball back in your
So you
court.
think it's PNG? So basically,
Okay, yeah.
let me try to explain to everybody what we're doing real quick. So the first step where you put cards into the TTS deck editor and insert cards that way, a lot of that's kind of really if you're good with Photoshop, Affinity, any other program software to do it that way. If you use it using like, was it Card Deck, Nandeck? I don't use them.
Index one of them. Yeah.
You can create cards in like Nandeck. There's a Card Deck program. Some people even use Excel, so you can create a 9-card sheet pretty quickly. But you cannot put that into the TTS deck editor. So we are going to try to take an already laid out 9-card sheet, put it into TTS, and have it split those 9 cards.
Oh boy.
We're gonna try to do that. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if it's gonna work. Ben doesn't know if it's gonna work. We don't know, but we're gonna try. We are going to try.
Oh man. Yeah. That'll be the end of it for me. Either way it goes.
Ben's gone. He's done. He's like, I don't want to stream anymore.
Oh man. So yeah, unfortunately, Brian, we can't see your other monitor. So it's still just TTS.
Oh,
So I'm not sure if you want to still try it, or if you want to try something else that's pretty funky.
I am. I'm saving it as a PNG file right now.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so I saved it as a PNG. So we're gonna
Currently
do objects, components, cards. So we want to do custom deck, right?
Yep.
All right. So face. I need to choose that PNG I just made, right?
Exactly.
Item.
So it's pretty much the same thing, but just you're cutting out the extra step of having to use again that program with the gray screen, and you're dragging all the cards in and all that stuff. Yeah,
Oh, I forgot to
it
say.
should operate the same.
Thanks so much for the follow, Victory of Eagles. Thanks so much for the follow, NW Vader. Thanks so much for the follow, Diesel0894. And thanks so much for the follow, Candid Clarinetist. And thanks so much for the follow, Trigger Happy Taco. Thank you guys so much for the follow.
Oh yeah, we were just talking about tacos in Georgia,
We are.
or a little bit earlier.
So my back doesn't matter what my back is, right?
Nope. Yep. So you could just have that for whatever the back you needed.
So
Is-
it's a 9x9. So we need to do 3x3, right?
Yes. If it's a 9-card deck, you want to do 3x3.
So
If it's 9x9, that'd be 81 cards, which goes over the 70-card limit, Brian.
It does. We went over that earlier, Ben. I don't think you're paying attention. Ah, Ben, you got to pay attention.
I got you.
Oh boy.
It's true.
So 3x3 equals 9. Let's do it. We're hitting import.
Oh boy.
I don't know what just happened. Did it work? It says 9.
Okay. Do the cards look right?
No. Oh no. I think
No.
Can you see him?
Not yet. Yeah, I'm just a couple seconds behind here. But I hearing your reaction, it basically just clinches it for me that this is amazing.
I mean it.
Whatever the result.
I mean it worked. It did work. So Nate was not lying. It did work. But I think I need to crop it. Do you see it yet? Did it pop up on the? Oops, hold on. Let me get there. People can see a little better.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. That first card, the one with the metal, looks really good, and then the side ones look a little off, right? So you might just have to change some of the cropping there. But I mean, otherwise, it looks pretty functional for the most part.
So it did actually work. That was a trick I wanted to try to see if it works. So basically, if I just crop that.
So if you go edge to edge, basically, Brian, yeah, like no margins, I think that'll fix it. Because what I'm seeing is that there's a little bit of side stuff going on like the grounding boots, for instance. So if you don't have that extra space, maybe did you just create this PNG, or was this like from a print and play PDF page?
It was from a PDF. So Nate.
Okay, that might be the difference then.
So he creates everything in there, and he gives me the PDFs. But I'm like, how can I insert this into TTS a lot quicker than what I'm doing? And I know a lot of other people. There's a lot of people that use tabletop or use a Nandeck and everything to create cards. So,
Yep.
so I definitely thought this would be a good thing to try. Because I know a lot of people
It's definitely
create their cards
doable.
that way. But it definitely is.
Mhm.
But then you still have to crop out the photo, though.
I think so. Yeah.
So I don't know if it's totally.
Just a little bit more testing.
I don't know
Just
if
a little bit more testing on Brian's part.
I don't know if it's totally useful, but it's. We discovered that it is, indeed, doable. Let's try it.
Possible. Yep.
Let's try
Yeah,
it.
just like Levi's camera tricks. Brian doesn't know if it's entirely useful, but it could be for you, and that's why I wanted to show it tonight.
I don't know. I wish he was. I wish Levi was here so I could tell him. Be like,
Let's phone him up. He's right down the street, right? Everybody in Ohio is neighbors.
no, he's like 2 hours away. We're trying this one more time.
Best of luck.
I am not gonna keep Ben here the entire evening, so I'll keep him here for a little bit more. So feel free, please, if anybody has like any more questions, like anything at all about Tabletop Simulator, please ask questions. Please ask questions now. Also, if you enjoyed this stream, please let me know. I generally care. I generally care if you enjoyed this stream because like I said, I mainly, obviously, if you know me, I love board games. I love designing board games. I love playing them. The audience I have geared towards on Twitch is mainly for video games. Mainly for like South Park Phone Destroyer and other stuff. But if people are interested in this type of content, please let me know. Like, this is something that I like doing to share, to get people like, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. What am I trying to say, Ben? What am I trying to say?
I don't know, Brian, but getting more people into the hobby is always a good thing. Maybe it's the direction you're headed in.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Because
Okay.
I'm not particularly, when I do these kind of streams, I want to do these kind of streams as like informational and not like brand building. Does that make sense? I think that's
That's
what I'm trying
good.
to say.
That's good.
Like, I want these streams to be, if 100 people watch, that would be amazing. And if they all learn something, that would be amazing. Like, I want to do these streams for people, for you viewers to watch and learn from. Like, that is what I want to do. Like, I'm not trying to build like a huge brand from these kind of streams, but if people are interested in like Tabletop Simulator streams, things like that, just let me know. I can do more of them. I can have people cooler than Ben on. Just kidding.
Whoa.
Man.
Oof. I was gonna say, yeah, whoever's follow up, I feel bad for them. Yeah, I answered all your questions, Brian. Jeez.
I don't think anybody could follow you up, Ben. But I mean, I'm
Oh,
sure
well,
Ben
thank
would be
you.
more than
And
happy
thank you,
to.
Philbag.
I'm sure Ben would be more than happy to come on again sometime, teach some things, even like fully get into playing games. Because I mean, it'd be awesome to playtest some of our games, so that way you can see, how to play. You know what I mean? Because setting it up is just half the battle, right? Like setting
It's most of the battle, I would say.
setting it up is okay. Setting it up is like 95% of the battle, but playing it can be a little tricky too. So I'd
That's
like
fair.
to play some games too on here so people can see like, oh, this is how I do that. Oh, this is how I do that. This is.
Brian, I was sorry to interrupt. I'm finally caught up with the stream, and these cards look great. Yeah, so you fixed it. You made the magic happen.
I figured
Really,
it out.
really happy, really proud for you.
There's
Yeah.
like a little tiny thing. So if anybody hopefully designs their cards that way, it's possible. It is possible, Nate. I'm going to tell you that it is possible to do. Which is good because he sends me over cards this way, and sometimes I don't want to edit them. So now I can just do this and just kind of separate them that way. It'd be so much easier. He designs cards.
There you go.
He designs cards in like Card Deck and like Excel. He designs cards in Excel
Ooh.
sometimes. I'm like, Nate, what's wrong with you?
I don't know how, but hey, it works for some people. Yeah.
He gets them done fast. Failed bag, Travis. It was quite helpful for me, at least. Thanks. If you ever have questions, like Travis, about anything, just let me know. Like, I know you're trying to get your games in there, but just message me, message Ben, message either of
Yeah, I was
us.
gonna say Brian's probably gonna message me your question anyway, so feel free to do it directly to me.
I'll
I'm
just,
kidding, but also that's totally fine. Happy to connect, Failbag. Thank you.
I'll just here. I'll just keep putting Ben's tag in there, so you can message him.
Oh, geez.
Oh, we do got a question. Are there ways to make aligned components? Are there ways to make?
Oh, yeah.
components
So
aligned?
I think what they're saying, Brian, is your grid is throwing off their alignment, and we covered this maybe a little bit earlier. If you remember how to make everything a nice clean grid.
You mean when I pick up cards?
Yeah, huh? And then put them into perfect rows and stuff. You got this.
Align components. Yes. So you want to highlight your components, highlight them, and hit 1. Wait, no. Yes.
It's one way, yeah. Go ahead and do that again and press 3, just for the fun of it.
What? 3? Oh my goodness.
Mhm.
What?
Oh, you got them all highlighted and picked up? Yeah, right? They're dancing around, right?
Oh my goodness. That was...
Yeah, and you could do that with, all 9 cards. So that 3x3 grid, you can recreate it. And then, as we kind of have been touching on earlier, dropping them into place and then putting snap points on all of them.
So
And then you're good to go. Oh, it's so good.
I've never done that before either. I never had a use for it, but yeah. So if you just have your 4 cards here, just highlight your cards, pick them up so they're moving around. If you hit 1, goes in a straight line. 2 makes a little box. 4, you can have it this way. I'm gonna guess that is what you were referring to. So that makes it easier to place cards.
I think so, yeah. And I have to thank Stefan for showing me that tip, and I've been using it ever since, yeah. So pretty
So if
epic,
you're-
for sure.
Yeah, so if you're doing like the snap points, hold on, let me make, I'm pretty sure I have snap, yeah I do. So I have snap
Love
points
it. It's like
already
you're
on.
forming a track.
I have them on here. So if you're grabbing them all, let's start from the beginning again, real quick. Let's just grab 3 because that's all I got. So you got these 3 cards. You want to line them up over here in this little track. Select them all. Hit 1. Now our snap points are already there. So I should just have to drop this right on, and it snaps right into place. Give or take my boxes. My snap points might not be perfect, but they're there. So that is...
They can be now. Yeah, they can be now because you have this alignment grid system. So, like, again, you just drop them into place, and then you just make new snap points, and then you're golden. Oh, so satisfying, Brian. You know.
So I'm going to guess that is 99% what you were talking about. That is exactly, yes. So just make sure you grab your cards, hit 1. Make sure you got your snap points already there. Drop them close, snaps them into place. Boom. Do you have any other questions for Ben or me? Probably Ben. Since Ben's a lot smarter than me, if you have any other questions, please let us know. Ben is
I mean,
here.
that's not true. Brian has some pretty epic hair right now. I'm digging that style. That's hopefully what I'm going to be rocking pretty soon. So I'm jealous. Yeah,
You see how long it is?
it's pretty long.
It's like I could go full cousin it if I wanted to. Like,
Oh, I don't know about that.
you want me to go
Maybe
like this?
maybe
That's the
not.
stream? Oh gosh.
If Kira's into it, then sure.
I started growing it out before the pandemic, and I just,
Oof.
I started growing it out, and then I was like, I don't want to get it cut. Like, I don't, like we've talked about this before. Like, I know COVID's real. I know this and that, but I've worked since day 1 in it, so COVID, it doesn't like bother me as much. But like getting my hair cut, dude, I just couldn't do it. Like, even if there's masks on, you know what I mean? I'm like, I couldn't do it.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
it just like weirded me out.
No worries.
It just weirded me.
I get
out
it.
that
And
somebody so close to me like that cutting my hair. So I was just like, okay, I'm just growing my hair out. And then
Definitely.
once hair things came back, hair blades, cutters, hair clippers, I can't. I'm done. It's too late for
Dude,
hair.
yeah, donate it. That's why I'm growing my hair out. Yeah, I think you could. That people would be really into those luscious locks.
Oh, but Kara learned to cut my hair, so like I haven't went and got my hair cut like a year because I was just like, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things like I'm not if I I'll recover from things like that. I'm not terrified of it, but just like somebody cutting your hair and just being like that close to you with like masks and stuff, it just like I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it, man.
The surgery.
Uh,
Yeah.
if there is
All good.
any other questions, please let me know, and I will hang on here for a few more minutes to see if there is.
Yeah. Was there anything else that you wanted to cover, Brian? I feel like this is pretty comprehensive.
Ooh, if anything else that I want covered? Ooh, man, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Actually,
Tell you what, I'm gonna after you.
Actually, you answered my question already with getting this to a PNG and having it cut like that helped me out. And I had no idea about picking up the cards and hitting one to make them go like that. Because I don't do Tableau games a lot, but it definitely is super helpful.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a
I would say
last minute tip?
yeah, I have a last minute request.
Ooh, okay.
Is if you want to just go ahead and go to objects and custom and token. So we were talking before about like those custom tiles and whatnots. So if you could, be so kind as to import one of your card images as a token, so that we can illustrate fully what it means to have like the picture pushed all the way through, if that makes sense. I think that'd be really cool.
Oh, to do it as a token. Okay. All right, so I got custom token. So image doesn't. Let's pick a cool image at least.
Yeah, you can do that chameleon card if you have that handy or something like that.
Cats with.
And I think that would be fun too to see all the colors through it. And then thickness is going to be like pretty much how thick you want the tile to be. So for me, when I'm doing like my custom meeples and stuff, I usually have them around like 0.85, I think, or something. But for you, Brian, you can make it whatever thickness you want. Yeah, 0.4.
And what is merge?
6.3.
What is merge distance?
Oh yeah, this is good. This is why we're doing this. Merge distance is going to determine or define how closely the import by TTS matches your image. So let's say, Brian, that you had like a sun shape, right? Like a starburst with lots of points on there. If you have a very low merge distance, that means that it's going to try to match as sharp as possible, stick to those edges as completely as it can. Whereas if you have a really wide merge distance, it's going to kind of round out. It's not going to be as accurate or precise with the import. So usually I always go to the lowest merge distance, which is like 0.05 or something, I think. Or 0.15, excuse me. Yep. And so then my favorite option next is going to be stand up. So that's going to be if you want the thing to be vertical or flat. So for meeples, custom game pieces, usually vertical is really good, or stand up is really good to have checked. But otherwise, if it's going to be flat on the table like a tile, you can just leave it unmarked. And then lastly would be stackable. So kind of like how all the cards, kind of form into a deck automatically, or if you have a bunch of like poker chips that line up into a stack, you can click that checkbox if you want or don't want. Usually I say no, but again, that's because I use tokens as meeples and little game pieces. Oh yeah, I have a meeple right here, a little monkey one. Yeah.
I probably need to do it as a PNG, don't
I? Usually, yes. So if you had it as a PNG, then I believe it would be just the can, which is really cool because then you get custom tokens as well if you have it flat on the table, right? So so many games have deluxified components and stuff. Yeah, man.
I need to do custom.
I'm telling you. It's magical. It's magical. But as we can see here, as a vertical or as a standing up token, it looks kind of like a standee. So if you've seen a game like Dead of Winter or King of Tokyo, those pieces are effectively standing up tokens. Yep. It's really that's my like favorite part of TTS that isn't the snap points. I would say like component wise, this is my absolute favorite. I know like you can bring in models and things, but those are like pretty complicated for the most part. I just like
Oh,
the
Ben, look
minimalism.
what's. Oh my goodness, Ben. You should have saved
Yeah,
this for another
there's a lot of
stream.
stuff. I guess so. Yeah, maybe that's what we'll have as
Oh
a
man,
cliffhanger since it's almost
giving
2 hours. So that'd be perfect.
giving up too much content here. So if you
No
do,
way.
do you see my little
At
piece I
that.
just made?
I love it.
Dude, I had no idea you could do this. Ben, you just blew
Okay.
my
Oh, and
mind.
really quick, go ahead and flip that for us, Brian, if you would be so kind, because just to show again, like how the artwork like just goes all the way through the edge, if that makes sense. So like if you're looking at the side of the piece, you can see that the colors match whatever that image is. So just another thing to like be slightly mindful of. But that's beautiful. That mask right
Oh
there.
my gosh, we got like we got we got bonus tips from Ben here. I didn't even know. I didn't even know you could do this.
There you go. That's why you got to roll with me, man.
Oh my goodness, Ben, I should have you on like all the time, every day. I don't know what. I don't. Oh boy, what is?
I feel like this is pretty much all my tricks, though. So
Oh no, this is all your
that,
tricks.
that's too many more to share.
Oh, this is
Yeah. That's my go-to right there. Custom tokens.
dude, I had no idea. I have loads of PNGs too. I get like everything.
Dude.
I get like everything in PNGs, so I could have. Oh Ben, look at that! Can you see that?
I will very soon, and I can't wait.
Oh, how do I stand it up? Is there a way?
You'll have to click that stand-up checkbox.
Oh, I gotta go do that. Okay.
So just like with that custom deck that we went way back to, all you
Custom
have to do is right-click and then hit that
stand.
custom toolbox, and it'll bring up the same window.
It looks a little weird.
Oh, you might have to import it as standing up when you first do it. Yeah, I think sometimes that's exactly right. What will happen is it kind of like just really warps itself out. So go ahead and do that again. The other thing is that maybe there's a height maximum for a piece. So then you'll have to like kind of shrink it down too. But I would recommend, Brian, to just like delete that one first and then import it again as standing up first. And that'll be like the perfect meeple piece exactly right for your game. And that's my favorite part about TTS for sure. Yeah.
Oh man, Ben, you know what I could do? So I have the Cats with Backpacks
All of you.
worker placement game.
All of them.
I
Do it.
could. I
All
have
the
PNGs
workers.
for cats, so I could make.
That's the way.
So I could have like custom pieces in here when we play.
Yeah, man. Dude, that's the same with again my little monster game. That's how I made all the monster meeples is by this. So
Just look how.
love it.
Oh, look how cool it looks.
Mm-hmm.
Man, bonus.
And then yeah, right. For everyone who stuck it out with us, but yeah, you can change the thickness of it so then it's like less wobbly.
What? That is
As needed.
so.
But they also should go to snap points. Yeah, so I think they'll magnetize to wherever you need them to go. It's pretty dope.
Ben, that was the coolest thing I've ever done. Ben, who do you like more? Ella Loves Board Games? Let's go to Ella Loves Board Games. You know Ella Loves Board Games.
Okay,
don't you?
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, you
Do you know Ella? Yeah. Oh, I met her like twice. Yeah, but
so
she's pretty fantastic.
before I raid Ella, I'll drop this one more time. If you are interested in checking out Ben, oh Ben, I didn't mean to say it that way.
Whoa,
If
I'm okay with it.
If you're interested in checking out Ben in any way you want, visit his Facebook link here at Your Friend Ben Moy Designs Board Games. Check him out. You want to check out his game designs. He's got a lot of cool games coming out soon. I've played a few of them. They're good. They're really good. Breakdancing Meeples, if you haven't checked it out yet. Breakdancing Meeples is good for kids, your grandma, everybody. It'll probably make your grandma mad, but that's okay. Your grandma can play it. Check out Breakdancing Meeples. If you're interested in any of mine and my wife's games, you can check out our website there at glassshoegames.com. And yeah. Ben, you have any final words? This is awesome. I'm so glad, like I said, I mainly stream video games, and like I can stream them just like perfectly. I got everything going. I know what I'm doing. And doing this was like way out of my comfort zone. Like I've never had a guest on before. I've never had somebody else with me. Like, so this was like a first for me. So I'm like glad you came on, because it's just like you just kind of, you were just here for it. So Ben, before
Yeah,
we leave,
no, it was an awesome time. This is my first co-stream as well, Brian. Yeah, so I'm glad that I got to be here with you. You were a fantastic host, and I think you did an awesome job, piloting this whole time. I think hopefully a lot of value. I know I was very much happy to learn a few things even from you, like custom cards individual. I didn't know that they jumped automatically between them, so that was really neat. Might be something I try the next time too. But that's what we do, is just constantly lift each other up. So thank you, viewers, for being here. If you were here the whole time, kudos. Hopefully you got some really cool tips and tricks. But that's it for me. Yeah, I am more than happy to continue following along when I can, and hopefully maybe we can just do this again for another game, maybe.
Yes. Like I said, if you're interested, if you like this type of content, like I said, I do this purely just because I love the hobby, love the industry. I want to see it grow. So if you do like this type of content, anything you want to see for board game related, like Tabletop Simulator, designing cards, how you make games, how you design games, literally anything, please reach out to me, reach out to Ben, reach out to somebody, get a hold of me, and I will stream it. I will stream it with whoever you want. I'll get like everybody. I'll get anybody. Everybody will come on my stream with me. Maybe, probably not.
Grandma, yeah.
I'll get a grandma on here. But we are going to head out and raid LLO's board games. We're going to raid her channel. So thank you, everybody, and have a good night. And Ben, you are the best.
Oh, after you, Brian.
And we are raiding.
You must move all your wars and then battle enemy destination clearing. So I can